Night 2 of WrestleMania is in the books. I'm the varsity athlete, Jeremy Burnett. With me, as always, is No Gimmicks, Matt Lambert. And we're talking about Night 2. We just finished with Night 1. Please check out that video if you hadn't. And like this one, comment, share, and subscribe to join the group. Be a part of the movement of Wrestling with the Business. Let's get into it. Night 2. What was your... Let's go with ratings. Let's go straight into the ratings overall this time. Let's invert it. How would you rate WrestleMania Night 2? WrestleMania 41 Night
2? I said Night 1 was probably a 3.5, pushing a 4. I enjoyed Night 2 more, so I'm saying 4.5.
4.5. That's a really good rating.
I really liked this show.
For you.
All the matches, even the Logan Paul match, I actually enjoyed, which I never like Logan Paul, but yeah, I thought this was a good night.
Yeah, I think what made the Logan Paul match so great was that there was basically no build-up to it at all. It was just him in the ring with AJ Styles, who is outstanding,
amazing.
who's phenomenal, as you might say. And so that's what really sold it. All right, let's go back to the top. I would give it a 3.5. I was a little bit more harsh on it. This one especially with, some of the... It wasn't a squash, but the squash match. Yep. Everyone recognizes it as a squash match that happened in the middle. And
glad he got a WrestleMania moment.
Yeah, there were some things in here where I was really thankful that the match wasn't longer than it was. I guess I'll put it that way. Let's go to the top of the card. Io Sky retains against Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. This was a good match. My only criticism of it was... It just seemed like the hair work with Bianca Belair was especially bad this time. It literally had me laughing.
I really think it's time she has a hair match where that gets cut off.
They need to
It's been going way too long.
They need to do something, and she's not working hard enough on that heel gimmick. She's not. It was clear that she was working at it. But
is she a heel? I couldn't tell.
It was pretty...
I don't remember her turning, because after the whole Jade thing...
I think they had to make something out of it, because... Io Sky's not really working a hard heel gimmick.
She's not a heel.
Rhea
and
Ripley
neither is Rhea.
So they got to do something. So she was doing some kind of heel.
Yeah, I felt like she was working kind of heel, but I don't remember her actually turning. So that was the disconnect.
Very forced, very last minute. I picked Bianca. She didn't go over. You picked Io because you're a huge Io fan.
Yep. And
you know where it's at. Best thing about this match for me was it was under 15 minutes. Get in, get out.
I honestly thought this was the best match of the weekend.
Wow. Show stealer.
Yeah. I thought this was excellent. And the Intercontinental Championship match I thought was a close second, just because of the whole story aspect of that match. But yeah, I really liked this match.
You thought this match was better than the main event from the night before?
Yes.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah. Well,
maybe like you said, because it was shorter. If the main event the night before had been a little bit shorter, that might have gone up the card a bit for me. But
in my opinion, match 2 was the second worst match of the night. The Sin City street fight between Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest.
Yeah, the best part of this match was Kerry King playing Priest into the ring.
Yes. That was really the only thing of note for me at all.
Pretty much.
Not a lot of intensity here. Not a lot of street fighting. It seems to me like Damian Priest gets pulled into all these gimmicky, no-holds-barred matches. What was the one at Backlash last year?
I think it was like a Puerto Rican street fight or something.
It was like a Santiago street fight or something. I don't remember what they called it, but he seems to be getting pulled into these things. Not a lot of relevance there. Again, this was one I was just glad it was under 15 minutes. Very
and
forgettable.
We all picked Drew to win on that one.
Definitely not a WrestleMania moment. Match number 3, the Fatal 4-Way for the IC title. Dominic, Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, and Penta. Probably, in my opinion, the best executed match of the night. You got a lot of different stuff going on. You got Penta, who flies high. You got Braun, who's sort of strong. Dominic and Finn somewhere in the middle, maybe a little bit. I thought they executed it well. It was only 10 minutes long.
Really?
This one went.
10 minutes a little longer than that.
10 minutes and 30 seconds. This one went. I mean, I thought it was a very well executed match, and I didn't fall asleep for it.
And it was clear to me from the beginning that Dominic was going to win. I mean, it would have been strange to me if anyone else had won that match.
Yeah, and you can't put it on Penta. I don't know why you would put it on Finn. If Braun's going to drop it, he's going to drop it to Dom, who I believe, didn't he win the international champion? Was it the in NXT?
North American.
North American. He
Yes.
won the North American championship in NXT about, 9 months ago?
Yeah, something
6
like
months
that.
ago, something like that.
That's funny you say that because you picked Penta in predictions.
I picked what I wanted to happen, not what I thought would happen. The big surprise of the night, who's going to step up in match 4 for Randy Orton's
So, we didn't have a pick on this one.
open challenge?
But I did get a bonus point for it because I knew he was going to have a match.
I did think that it was probably going to be like a Rusev. I thought he had been signed.
Yeah, last week we were saying Jeff Cobb or Nick Aldis or Solo Sikoa. Those were the top 3.
My assumption was that it was going to be an actual match. Instead, they gave a little love to TNA. Joe Hendry comes out holding his TNA
Crowd popped,
championship.
man.
Crowd got a big pop. Unfortunately, it was basically a squash match. I mean, Joe got a couple of things in, but the idea was to make Randy look really strong, which now we know why. Now that it's after Monday night, we know why he needs to look strong. I guess my only question on this one is, my argument ever since the agreement with TNA has been that TNA is going to get the short end of the stick.
Yeah.
To me, this is just another example. If Dan were here, he'd be screaming, TNA Championship on WrestleMania, can you believe it? And I'm like, but he got squashed in 5 seconds, and it didn't make him look strong at all. Maybe if they had an actual match, it would have made him look good. He literally was just there, and they played his music. It's a moment.
It's a moment. That's all it is. Yeah, it's a
moment for
WrestleMania
you.
moment.
It's a moment for you and me, but not for a world champion at the next... I don't know.
But
me,
that tells me they are high on Joe Hendry, so when his TNA contract is up, he will come over just like Jordan Grace did.
and he'll probably come over for not nearly as much money as he could get if they didn't have that relationship. It'd probably be a nice, smooth transition. Probably more like TNA giving him away than WWE having to actually bid for him and take him. I don't know. I think... This is just another example of put Randy Orton on a TNA broadcast and have Randy Orton do a job for somebody. Okay, now I'm seeing TNA. Now we're making the TNA guys look strong.
Yeah.
This is just TNA guys showing up, waving, and then getting their shit kicked in my opinion, which is not great for them in the long run. One of your favorite matches of the night, number 5, Logan Paul versus AJ Styles.
I wouldn't say my favorite. I enjoyed it more than I expected I would.
I believe this is Logan Paul's first WrestleMania win. I believe he lost in his other 2 matches.
Oh, I think they mentioned that on commentary. I think he has won at WrestleMania. I think they were saying that on commentary, but he doesn't win at pay-per-views often.
This was the second longest match of the night, nearly 18 minutes. I did not get bored. AJ Styles is...
The drone thing in the beginning, and then he worked that into the match also. That was cool.
Experiment.
So when he's walking in, it looks like he's holding his phone. I'm like, why is he on his phone? That's kind of stupid. And then it just starts rising out of his hand.
That was cool. Yep. Yeah. They're doing some experimentation with that stuff, which is kind of neat. Credit where credit is due. I think, and they've been playing with the drone stuff when they've been out of country primarily, because I think there's some laws and stuff that they got to dance around. But that stadium's plenty big enough to have a little drone in it.
Yeah, this was the one where I picked based on my heart, not on my head. I wanted AJ to win, but it's not to be.
Logan Paul goes over, and my guess is he'll probably disappear again into the ether until...
Yeah, because the story is AJ and Karrion Kross. Logan Paul had nothing to do with it.
Right, because Karrion Kross showed up, which I don't know why I didn't put money on that. I'm like, he's a Las Vegas native. He's working another show in that town at that same time. Like, it'd be stupid not for him not be there. But anyways, that'll be a Fallout conversation. Lyra Valkyria and a mystery. Who's going to come out and support her? Are going after the current women's tag champs, Liv Morgan,
be Alexa Bliss,
and Raquel Rodriguez. There was some speculation that Alexa Bliss would be there. Now, I have to confess that late Saturday night, I saw a video of Becky Lynch backstage after seeing what happened in the main event with Seth Rollins going over and walking off with Paul Heyman. She was very excited, dancing around, but maybe it was the angle or the lighting or something. She did not look right. She didn't look healthy. She looked like ultra skinny and there was no tone. She looked like she hadn't worked out in a really long time. And so I thought she was just there to support Seth for the show and to be backstage at WrestleMania.
Shows what you know.
Turns out I don't know shit. She was the one that came out, got a big pop from the crowd, got over really well. They ended up taking the belts for a day. Short match.
So reports are this was the plan all along, that Bayley wasn't supposed to be in that match at all. And it's being reported that a lot of people backstage are feeling sorry for Bayley not getting this WrestleMania match because she's very well respected in the locker room. So if that is the case, if that was the plan all along, that really sucks for Bayley.
Bayley did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, which is just coming out now early in this week. And she seems a little sour. She made a comment, I don't know if you saw it, about how she sort of looks up and she sees Charlotte and Becky, and she's like, I'm not at that level yet, but why? I came up with them.
What do I have to do?
They are my cohorts. I don't understand. I've held the world champion, not the world championship, but the women's championship. Yep. Why am I not up there with them? I think it's a damn good question. A lot of question marks over whether she's going to come to another agreement.
Especially with recent matches, I'd say she's surpassed Charlotte. And maybe even Becky at this point.
Definitely a huge... I mean, she made Damage Control what it was, frankly. She really carried Damage Control. I mean, there's some questions over whether there's room for her on that roster and whether she needs to take a walk across the street.
She said in that interview, too, she has 1.5 years left on her contract. So after that, we'll see.
We'll see what happens. But they ended up, spoiler alert, they dropped the titles the next night. Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez keep their championship.
Just for Becky to turn heel. That's all that was. Just
right.
For a heel turn.
Right. They wanted her to beat up Lyra Valkyria. So, yeah, definitely the beginning of something new.
And for me, this was the weakest match of the night.
Main event, John Cena breaks Ric Flair's record. Now
all right, now I'm going to channel Dan right now. Where the fuck was The Rock?
Yeah, okay, we will talk about that for sure. I guess he magicked himself into Travis Scott in the middle of that match. This was
that ugly-ass, hardcore, fake championship.
He goes over Cody Rhodes. The match itself was pretty good. John really took control of that match and was very...
Very deliberate, very slow, and I think that's what made the match good.
Slowing down is definitely something that you have to learn to do. I
mean, the audience is conditioned now for spot, fast move. This being slow and deliberate added to the match for sure.
I have to say, probably 3/4 of the audience hated this and they wanted to shoot themselves. But seeing all his heel work at the beginning, grabbing the ropes up against
even
the
his
corner,
entrance, just coming out to a black screen with white lettering. That's it.
Diving underneath, walking around the ring. That's all good. Tension building, heat. I mean, there was still "Let's go Cena sucks" chants in the crowd.
Well, they were cheering Cena and booing Cody at several points of the match.
Which tells you something. Tells you that Cody's a little flat. He's a little uninteresting, and that John Cena's reignited himself. He won. It was the right thing to do after everything that they've done, especially with the heel turn. I think as soon as he did the heel turn, you know he's going to win the championship because that's what heels do. Overall, I would say lots of finisher kickouts, which irritated me to no end. This was definitely the weaker of the two main events. But it was one of the best 2 or 3 matches of the night, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
In a relatively weak night.
Up until the Travis Scott involvement, I thought this match was very good.
A lot of time killing, not great story. Let's talk about The Rock. So The Rock said that he wasn't there because he wanted the night to be all about John Cena. To me, for me, this was what I'm calling cope fabe, which is when we all sit around and we pretend that the bad thing that happened is what we intended all along. I don't know why The Rock wasn't there, Maybe he was busy with other stuff. Maybe he had something else going on. Maybe they just chose to make a bad decision. Maybe they just chose to. I mean, here's what I'll say about it. Let's take him at his word that he didn't want to steal the spotlight from Cena. He should have done something then, because the silence was so deafening. He's now sucked all of the attention back to himself.
When the music hit and Scott walks out, the crowd is excited because they are expecting The Rock to follow him. And then when that didn't happen, you could hear the crowd just die down.
And they had set us up for that, because going all the way back to Elimination Chamber, that's what happened. It hit, Scott walks out, and with The Rock. So we had been conditioned to do that. We had been basically conditioned to disappointment in this particular instance.
Looking back now, I was thinking about this after the show ended. Do you think the Cena heel turn should have waited until WrestleMania, or was it right to do it beforehand?
I think it was the right thing to do it beforehand. It definitely sold some tickets. It definitely increased the interest.
He still would have had the match regardless. But what if the heel turn, the low blow, and everything else happened on WrestleMania rather than at Elimination Chamber?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know, man. I think the heel turn was well placed.
The Booker thinking in me is like, no, a heel turn at WrestleMania, that'll make this the greatest WrestleMania ever. But I can also see selling it ahead of time, a month in advance, 2 months in advance, whatever it was.
The crowd would be in a very different place at WrestleMania if Cena hadn't made that heel turn. You'd see a lot of Cena hate, and now you'd have that Luke Skywalker problem that we were talking about before, except it would be even worse, because now you'd have two-dimensional figures fighting against each other. Speaking of entrance music popping a crowd, and then things not going the way that it's expected, Stone Cold made an appearance at night 2.
I forgot about this.
The glass breaks. Now, we know what's going to happen because Shawn Michaels came out to announce the attendance, so we know why he's there. He's just going to announce the attendance. He's not stunnering anybody, right? He might crack a beer, but that's about it. He comes out on a four-wheeler, and he nearly kills somebody.
That's a little... yeah.
Don't drink and drive, kids. That's the lesson, okay? You have the guy that's known... colloquially as the heavy drinker, drinking beers, stomping mud holes, covering Vince McMahon and beer from a beer truck. And you got him out there tail flipping on a four-wheeler, running into the barricade and hitting a woman, I believe. I believe he actually hit a woman.
So if you watch the video, he doesn't hit her. He hits in front of her, and she stands there for a second or two and then sits down kind of out of shock. It's not really clear whether the barricade actually hits her or not. I think she just kind of was a little shocked, and then you zoom in and she is legitimately pissed at him.
Yeah, she's not.
But happy. I don't think she was actually hurt.
My favorite was the incident itself was because of the way the camera worked. I didn't really know what happened.
Right.
It cut away really quick, and I was like, okay, I'll just take it for what it was. But then all these videos came out, these cell phone videos leaked of Nick Khan running out.
Oh, he was on the feed.
Yeah, he was right there at the moment.
After Stone Cold did his thing, he went back out, and there's Nick Khan, and he just kind of says something to her. Stone Cold does, but yeah, Nick Khan was there. I can
only imagine,
for sure.
Did she get a hug? Did she get a bunch of free merchandise? What did...
I was trying to see...
I'd be like, my neck is killing me. You need to give me some signed merchandise to make this feel better.
I was trying to see after that during the main event if she was still sitting there or not. I couldn't really tell, but she might have left after that. I'm not sure.
I guess I'm going to close the video with this very briefly because I know this is a topic that's near and dear to your heart. Green shirt guy making the rounds on the internet again, shown in some questionable images off to the side.
I'm sure you didn't watch the kickoff show. He came down the ramp during Wade Barrett's entrance. Him and a couple other guys actually walked down the ramp behind Wade Barrett. He works for the company, dude. Because there are other images of him being in the timekeepers area. He works for the company, 100%.
So, all right, put on your tinfoil hat with me here. Why would WWE do that? Why would they put a guy in an obnoxious, stupid green shirt, front row tickets
I don't think
at every show?
I think he works for the ring crew or works backstage or something, and they give him the tickets, he wears whatever he wants to wear so he gets recognized or whatever. But he 100% works for the company. He can't show up at every single show across the country.
What does he do?
I just said he works for the ring crew or something.
Really?
I don't know, dude.
He must
it's
be
clear he works for the company.
He is sitting on a $10,000 ticket. He has to
15.
do something. He has to do something for the company besides put the ring together before the match. He has to be adding some kind of
He's got to
value.
be getting comped the tickets, man. He has to be. He cannot.
Right, so what is he doing for that comp? That's what I'm saying. He's getting comped because he's providing $15,000 or more of value is what I'm saying.
I don't know, man.
I mean,
really
is he
don't know.
reading the crowd? Is he starting chants? Is he signaling certain things? Like, is he acting as appointment? I don't know. There is some kind of conspiracy thing going on there. I think this is a rabbit hole.
I don't know what he does. I know he is on the payroll, though.
This is a rabbit hole that I'm very excited to fall
Or
down.
whatever job he does, maybe that is his pay, as he gets free tickets to every show.
I would work for free tickets, so I just want to volunteer.
Seriously.
And I promise to wear whatever you tell me to wear. I won't wear some obnoxious. See, that also seems intentional to me, that they must be okay with him doing that and drawing that attention to the center every time. Maybe that's his job. I don't know.
But yeah, when the picture of him in the timekeepers area was going around in the last week, but then watching the kickoff show, seeing him walk down the ramp, it's 100%.
Yeah, I agree. And I think we speculated on that too in the past,
Yeah.
but this is a
has
rabbit
to.
hole. I feel like the internet's going to do what the internet does now with this information. We need to follow this very, very closely, maybe leverage Lily a little bit on this one. And this is a rabbit hole that I really want to fall down. So I'm going to do some research on this and provide updates as I possibly can. Well, Night 2 is in the books. Please let us know what you think. You've got our ratings. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and please stay tuned for future videos. We're doing even more deep dives into WrestleMania 41 this week, talking about different topics and some potential acquisitions that are going to be very interesting. So keep watching, and we'll keep wrestling with the business.